I never imagined one night could spiral into a disaster that would change everything. My name is Alex, I'm 32, and I thought I had control over every part of my life. I'm not reckless, not careless, and certainly not the type to get entangled in drama that doesn't concern me, but somehow, that night proved I was wrong. It all started at a private gathering hosted by one of my colleagues, a casual affair, small in size, big in alcohol, and bigger in ego. The room was filled with laughter, dim lights, and music that hummed in the background like an innocent accomplice. I wasn't there to socialize much. I came for work networking. But then she walked in. Her name was Lila. She had this magnetic charm, the kind that made everyone instinctively smile when she entered, even if they didn't know her personally. I had seen her around the office before, always professional, always poised, but tonight she was different. Tonight she was unguarded, laughing a little too loud, leaning a little too close to people she shouldn't have, and looking at me like she already knew something I didn't. At first, I tried to keep my distance. I chatted with others, sipped my drink, and ignored the electricity in the air. But fate, it seems, doesn't care about caution. When she finally approached me, her smile was casual, almost playful. "Hey Alex, let's step outside for a moment," she said. Her voice was soft, friendly, but there was a glint in her eyes that made my stomach tighten. The moment we were alone, she laughed and said, "I hope you're not going to think this is serious, because it's just one night." She didn't need to explain what she meant. I already understood. My pulse quickened, and for a second I considered walking away. But curiosity and something darker, something reckless, kept me rooted in place. We spent that night together. It wasn't long, it wasn't complicated, but it was enough. Enough to leave me thinking about it in the following hours, enough to spark a chain of events I would never be able to rewind. The next morning I tried to convince myself it was just a mistake, a lapse in judgment, and nothing more. I had no way of knowing that by lunchtime my phone would ring, and my life would take an unexpected turn. The caller ID showed a number I didn't recognize. Hesitant, I answered. "Alex?" A stern, unmistakable voice said. "This is Mr. Callahan, CEO of Apex Dynamics. I need to speak to you immediately." I froze. Callahan? The CEO? My mind raced. Had there been a problem at work? Was this some compliance issue? Then I remembered, Lila worked for him. The blood drained from my face as I realized the implication. "Mr. Callahan," I stammered. "Yes, this is Alex. How can I help you?" He didn't waste time. "I know exactly what happened last night," he said, his tone cold, clipped, and razor-sharp. "And let me make one thing clear. I do not tolerate reckless behavior that affects my company, or the people connected to it." My heart was hammering. I tried to form a response, but the words died in my throat. Lila had said it was just one night, but apparently the consequences were already rippling far beyond what I could have imagined. "Alex, I need you to understand something," he continued. "This isn't personal. But if I find that this affects my business, my employees, or my reputation, you will be held accountable. You need to cut off all contact immediately. Do you understand?" I swallowed hard, nodding even though he couldn't see me. "Yes, sir. I understand." That night, I replayed every single interaction with Lila. Every glance, every laugh, every casual touch now felt like a trap I had walked straight into. How had I been so naive? How had one impulsive decision spun out of control so fast? Days went by, and Lila acted like nothing had happened. She was cheerful, chatty, professional at work, but whenever our eyes met, there was a flicker of guilt, or was it amusement? I couldn't tell. I didn't know whether she regretted it, or if she was secretly enjoying the chaos we had created. Then came the messages. At first they were harmless. "Hey, just checking in. Did you get my email?" But soon the tone shifted. There was a tension, an unspoken warning in every line. And then one evening, a new message appeared, not from her, but from her assistant. "Mr. Callahan requests that you do not contact Ms. Lila for any reason. Any attempts will be considered a breach of professional conduct." It was official. My life had crossed into a territory I couldn't control. I realized then that the just one night she had promised was a lie, or perhaps an underestimation of the consequences. I had inadvertently entangled myself in a web much larger than my own recklessness. And yet I couldn't stop thinking about her. The thrill, the allure, the connection that had ignited in that one night lingered in my mind. But reality was unforgiving. One wrong move and I wouldn't just lose her, I could lose my career, my reputation, and the respect of everyone around me. The weeks that followed were a delicate balancing act. I had to navigate professional boundaries with a precision I had never needed before, always aware that one slip could set off an inevitable storm. Every encounter at work was charged with unspoken tension. Every glance a reminder of what had happened and what could happen if I misstepped.